I want to circle back to this concept of experience. Just this sort of meta concept that keeps getting brought up on hunting podcasts like yours. I I really like the reason it's so attractive to me, especially in hunting, is that it's something I can't just have, and I think that's part of the reason why hunting public land is popular, is because basically 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, if you live in the United States of America and some parts of Canada, you can get almost anything you want. Like and sometimes you could even get it delivered within 12 hours. Like you want a specific cut of meat, you want you want a specific record book, you can just have it. And you can't just you can't just have the experience of a mature whitetail walking into where you're at. Like maybe you get it because you're lucky or something, but that's the reason why hunting is so attractive to me. It's because I kind of grew up in a world where all that stuff started to become available. I could get whatever I wanted at whatever time of day. And I lived in Chicago for a little while when I was in university, and it was the first time I experienced a 24-hour like grocery store. It was like I can go and pick up ingredients at 1 a.m. This is nuts. Like, and that whole world just kind of exploded. Like I can shop all night on my phone, like if I want. Um, those experiences that we can't just have, man, I think they're just becoming more and more valuable to people, and I think we're seeing it. Like I don't know, at least in Manitoba, we're seeing hunting numbers go up. Like license sales have gone up for the past 5 years, and that's the first 5 year increase there's been in 20 or something. So I don't know. It's pretty cool, pretty exciting.
I think that's a reflection. I think the increasing license sales there is a reflection, even though it might be sort of a microcosm there, but of people looking for that, looking for what's the opposite of what I have mostly in my life. And
Yeah,
I think we do this in society where we arc between these things, and we think we want the easy stuff. Like we think we want to just, go to YouTube and all of a sudden I'm going to be able to play guitar after this video. But what we really want in like evolutionary, what we want in our brains is to take on long-term challenges and overcome them in steps and work toward goals and have something. And hunting, fishing to an extent too, but hunting is like a very open to everyone possibility there. I mean, maybe not everyone. If you live in a huge city, you might not have the option, but it's even then you could probably argue that you could. And so it's one of the paths we have to just push a little bit back on the 24-hour supermarkets like you're talking about, and the Amazon shopping and the instant gratification, and watch anything you want and do anything you want and never have boredom in your life. I think that's the reason people are going that way.
I hope so. I mean, I'm yeah, I'm excited about it all, about seeing people want to get outside and really have a hard time. There's a lot of folks around here who end up complaining about seeing more hunters, and I just it doesn't make any sense to me. It just tells me they don't maybe really like hunting. I don't know, like all of that sort of when you find yourself criticizing the criticism of whatever aspect of life, if that's starting to get in the way of the thing that you say you love, you probably don't really love it. And I don't know. I'm also seeing older hunters uh, fall in love with it again on a different level. I had a 3 seasons ago in rifle. I got my neighbor to crawl on his elbows and ankles to try and get a shot at a whitetail, and he said, "I haven't crawled on my elbows and ankles since I was 16." And it fired him up, man. And I was like, because I'm not a good hunter, but I love the the journey, and I like trying to get places where people haven't been in a while, really sticky, shitty places in the bush that are a really great home for a lot of critters. That's like where I get excited. And um, I probably don't have as many opportunities at killing stuff because I'm just like right there sometimes, or I'm just not good enough yet at figuring that out. That's all possible, but trying to figure out why I hunt, like what about these situations gives me joy, makes me a better person. Like I want to be constantly sort of pursuing that inner perspective on why I'm here, why I'm spending all my time away from my kid doing this. And is that going to make me a better dad or not? Like all those questions, like you can ask yourself why there's a rub line in this particular place and where the bedding area is and all these questions and trying to dissect situations hunting. And that why is essential to success. If you're talking about successes in killing an animal, I'm sure. And you know way more about this than I will ever. But I'm really interested in asking why I'm there in the first place and like what my goals are actually, and why do I have goals about killing a mature buck or whatever it is? Like this year, my goal was to try and get a mature buck with my bow. Well, it's been my goal for the past 3 years, to be honest, but, and I'm not really sure why I made that my goal. And it's been troubling me a little bit, and maybe it's troubled me because I've had really early success this season hunting. And I feel a little bit ripped off that I'm not sort of obsessing about how I'm going to make this happen, because I realized I loved my last 2 seasons of bow hunting because I was completely focused on it and failed like thoroughly and screwed it up. And I didn't get to have those experiences this year. And part of the reason I didn't have those experiences is because I did a lot of work in the summer trying to figure out how the hell I'm going to do this. But I realized part of what I love about hunting is that suffering, that self-doubt. And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I'm just like, I want to be like dealing with that, the inner thoughts in my life outdoors. For me, that's the whole deal.
So you know why that is? You know why you're at this mental existential crisis with your deer season?
Please tell me.
Because it wasn't about killing a mature buck.
Yeah.
That we frame it that way and go, that's how I want this to end. And there are a lot of people who that is it. You brought up the truck hunters up there in Manitoba. Believe me, the road hunters, they're everywhere. I always laugh when people say, "Oh, my state has better hunters than the other state." I'm like, man, I've been all over the place. 80% of the people would be super happy to shoot their deer, their antelope, or whatever in the ditch. Like that's, if you're saying you're just wrong if you think you have the best hunters, probably. But what's going on there with you probably is if before you shot that really nice buck up there, you probably would have said, "Man, I've been working my ass off. This is what I want, and that's going to make me super happy." Then you achieved it and you go, well, shit, now the grass isn't that green over here. I actually wish I could keep hunting. And that is a weird place to be. I have those problems. My wife brings that up a lot with me. Like, you are never happy. Like, you're always looking for that next thing. And it's part of the reason why I've structured my life with this public land stuff the way I have, because I'm always going to new places. That thing that you're talking about that went away as soon as you made that good shot on that buck, that doesn't go away for me because next week's somewhere else. And it's like a sneaky little way to stave off that unsettling feeling that you got what you wanted and it wasn't enough.
Yeah. And I also, like, it affirmed to me on a positive side that I actually really do love hunting. Because I had some moments last year where I was like, I'm not successful. I'm starting to get some tension at home because everyone's experienced this. Because I really I really want to succeed at this, what I thought success was. But within the first 3 days of the season, I'm done. And in my zone, I only get one tag. So now what? But I was like, no, I really love the hunting part. Like, the killing part is kind of whatever to me. Like, and I made it happen, and I could have failed at it, and it all sort of was. I felt like it was a gift because it was like a pretty easy relatively easy shot, and I'm new to archery, and all that stuff could have went another way. I could have wounded it. I could have had a bad experience like everybody has once in their life, but I keep hearing. But it all went perfectly, and I was like, man, I didn't really want it to go perfectly, and I didn't realize that was at play, and that was sort of a revelation, and to try and see the positive side of that, I was like, no, I actually really love being out there. And then I also realized in the last few weeks that I can still be out there. And so I've been starting to like get my ass out in the morning and just sit and watch instead of, it's not the same because it doesn't seem like there's the same amount at stake, but there's also less pressure for me to screw up. So I can push in a little bit further and blow up deer, and I get to see a lot more than maybe I would if I was trying to kill something.
Isn't there anything else you could hunt up there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hunting grouse and ducks and stuff like that. Trying to, like, because since I started archery hunting and it was the sole focus of my life, and now that I'm tagged out, basically I have all this time to sort of rekindle my love for birds. I'm going to go on a doe hunt about 4 hours away. I'm going to try. There's like a few places in Manitoba where they're trying to control the deer population, so I get to try and do some of that stuff that a lot of you guys talk about, like going in, no cameras, trying to read sign. I mean, I'm probably not going to succeed. I'm not thinking that. It's going to be easy. I'm going to go for a weekend, or whatever. But I'm so jacked about it. Mm-hmm. It's like my season's not over. And I also there's a really nice elk herd here locally. And I have this like back burner dream. I don't think I'm good enough yet, but to try and get an elk with my bow. And so I'm just keeping tabs on elk. I'm sort of chasing after elk. And I mean, all these opportunities are here. And I moved to rural Manitoba from the city to do this. Like, if any of you are out there like wishing you could hunt more, you just become a musician, because you can structure your life around hunting and still have a career. Like I can take off months at a time from the road and still have enough to keep going. Like we bought this place in this tiny prairie town because of so many of the outdoor opportunities. And I don't know. I'm feeling like so much gratitude and gratefulness for my life and where I live. And there are obviously some things about this life that make it difficult personally, like the amount of time away. But man, I really feel lucky to be here and to get a chance to chase after animals in the woods. It's the greatest.